One of the most common complications to introduce to Mendel's laws is the idea of sex-linked traits. Now, sex-linked genes are those genes that are found on the X chromosome. Now, that's a significant difference from the standard way of doing genetics, which is talking about the autosomal chromosomes, because unlike the autosomes, the other non-sex chromosomes, males only get one of those X chromosomes. Some common examples of traits that are used during tests or in class that are sex-linked are hemophilia and colorblindness. Now, because they're on the X chromosome, when you write them, instead of putting just the letter, big H for having normal blood clotting and little h for having hemophilia, you actually put the X to represent the X chromosome, and typically as a superscript, floating up high like an exponent, you put the capital H for normal or the lowercase version for hemophilia. Now, males again only get one X chromosome, so you can't say they're homozygous or heterozygous or anything like that because they don't have two of the same or two different things. Instead, some people will call that hemizygous because it has half the normal number of chromosomes, and hemi means half. Females will actually get two X chromosomes, so they can be homozygous dominant with X big H, or heterozygous X big H, X little h, or homozygous recessive X little h. Now, what would some of the problems that would involve sex-linked traits look like? Here's a standard kind of question. A normal man marries a woman who is a carrier for hemophilia. Predict their offspring. So the first thing you have to do is figure out, all right, a normal man, what does that mean? Well, that means that he does not have the hemophilia allele. So he has the normal blood clotting allele. The woman, she is normal, but she's a carrier. So that means she has one normal and one hemophilia allele. So she is heterozygous for this trait. So now that I've got their genotypes figured out, let me plug them into this Punnett square here. So I put the guy's genes up here, hers right there, and now it's time for them to have some babies. So let me put this daughter here is XX and gets a big H here and a big H there from mommy and daddy. X from mommy with a big H and daddy's Y. What does this mean? Son. XX, we have another daughter. Little h from mommy and big H from daddy. Remember, you always put the dominant allele first. It doesn't matter who you get it from. You always put dominant first. So we'll see that the daughters are both normal. Here, mommy gives the X that she has. Daddy gives the Y that he has. And now we have our two sons. And what you'll see with sex-linked traits, the way to spot them is that you'll see unequal expression of the traits in male versus female. Here, this daughter is normal. This daughter is normal, even though she's a carrier. They both have normal blood clotting. So 100% of the females, and I'll use the symbol for female, are normal. Whereas this guy is normal. So 50% of the males are normal. And this guy here, however, he's a hemophiliac. 50% of the males are hemophiliacs. So that's the easy way to do it. So of course, some bioteachers like me like to sneak in stealthy little sex-linked examples. So let me show you how that could happen. In fruit flies, white eyes are recessive to red. So we have a white-eyed male fruit fly mating with a red-eyed female to produce 24 white males, 28 white females, 27 red males, and 23 red females. Can this be sex-linked? Well, obviously, based on this video, it can. But if you just saw these normal results, you might say, well, it's affecting the males and females the same. It's just somebody who's homozygous recessive crossing with somebody who's heterozygous. And if they gave you no other information, you'd be right. That's the simplest answer, and often the simplest answer is the right one. However, there is a way to make this sex-linked, and usually what will happen is they'll talk about another generation. So let me show you how you could make this sex-linked. So we have are wide-eyed male. I'm going to use, because red is the dominant trait, I'm going to use big R for red, little r for white. So he's little r. Now she's red, we know that. Now if she was homozygous dominant, all of her offspring are going to be red because that's what homozygous dominant people do. So let's make her heterozygous. She's got this little one right there. So let's take a look. So this daughter here is big R, little r. This daughter here is little r, little r. This son here is big R, nothing, so red. And this son, sorry, that's the son, and this is the son, is X little r. So we have, as we see, predicted by our Punnett square, half of our female offspring have red eyes. And we see that. Half of our male offspring have red eyes, and we see that. Half have white and half have white. Now, let's take this daughter here, fly incest, and mate it with this son here, and we'll see X big R, X little r, red female, X big R, X little r, red female. 100% of our females are red. Oops. White male, white male. So we see, ultimately in the second generation, finally we see that unequal distribution of the effects in the genders that equals sex-linked traits.